say, when Hell's Bay builds you a boat, it's the last boat you'll ever need to own. It's built to last. Yeah. It's all space age materials, so we can have the thinnest schedule, the strongest strength, and the lightest weight. And everything is chemically bonded.
Yes.
And our skiffs have the highest resale price of any skiff on the market today. Anyone knows anything about the Hell's Bay boat brand, it's a custom brand. We don't have a dealer network. So the base price of this particular boat is $110,000, boat, motor, and trailer. Right. By the time you traditionally rig it out, T-tops and whatnot, you may creep the price up to about $145,000, maybe $150,000. But you'll run this boat for 10 years and you'll still get $120,000 resale value out of this boat. They're a legacy brand. They are the quintessential top of the heap when it comes to flats boats. They're strong, they're built to last. Attention to detail is unparalleled, unmatched. You walk around this boat and feel under everything, every hatch is finished, every edge is finished, no chatter, you don't feel any oil canning in this boat. It's a remarkable vessel and tons of space, very well thought out. Every compartment you can put a 5-gallon bucket in, and you could fit inside the fish box.
Oh, sure.
You could fit inside the fish box.
I saw that thing earlier.
Compartments are deep enough to put scuba tanks in. Okay. I mean, there's nothing you can't do out of this boat. It's the perfect nearshore bay boat. Fish the flats if you want to. Many of us in South Florida, you'll run out and catch dolphin on a weed line and then come back inside and either go tarpon fishing out of this or go red fishing out of this. They can pull tubes with their kids. They can do anything they want to do.
I saw you barely tap the throttle.
Barely tap the throttle.
Out of the water in a heartbeat.
It jumps out of the water. It literally jumps out of the water. 300 horsepower for the Hell's Bay Estero is the perfect package. The power curve with this, there's no flat spots. I mean, it's a power curve that exceeds everybody. You know, at the end of the day, wide open throttle, 300 horses is 300 horses. But getting there from 0 RPMs to 5,500 RPMs, we're quicker. This is such a resilient motor that they're willing to say you don't have to do anything for 5 years. You don't even have to take it back to the dealer after you start.
Like no oil change, no
nothing.
No nothing.
No nothing. You spend no money on maintenance for 5 years. This is the cleanest engine in the industry. There's nothing close. They're passionate about preserving the environment. There's a feature on ETEC called iTrim. So when you buy your ETEC, you can set the engine up to have iTrim. And the way iTrim works is they take the build profile, whether that be a certain size center console like this one, and for certain RPMs, that motor will trim itself. So if you're a novice boater or you're trying to teach someone how to drive your boat, you can use iTrim and they'll drive it almost like a pro. I'm a control freak, so I don't use it. I like to drive the boat the way I like to drive the boat. But it is nice if you just want to turn the radio on and not think about it. You just hit the iTrim and you're done. This is such a smart engine. It tells you, I mean, they can literally through an app tell you if there's something going on with the motor, when the next service is. It's just the fact that it really does a great job of managing your fuel. I mean, it's dead accurate. I mean, dead accurate. You know exactly what you're burning at what RPM, and it'll show you where the sweet spot is in the eco mode, so you know that this is when I'm going to get my best performance. So it's a very smart engine and very clean. But Hell's Bay has just an awesome reputation. Speaking of which, there's a Hell's Bay right there. Andy Mill.
The cat drug in.
Is that the Biscayne? Stuff for Evinrude and Hell's Bay and Captain's for Clean Water.
Yeah.
And look who comes in.
I know. I saw you guys pointing. I saw the front. I'm sure I know these guys.
This is Andy Mill, who was a Olympic gold medalist downhill skier in the Olympics, and wrote the book on tarpon fishing.
There it is.
There is no one that you'd want to go tarpon fishing more than that gentleman. So that's the caliber of guy we got in our boat down there. I've been with Evinrude now for, let's see, 2004. This is 2019, so 15 years. And here we are 15 years later, and now we have something on the back of the boat that looks like no other boat company has designed. And I can remember when we came with the G2, about 4 years ago now, And all the other brands said, oh, it's too progressive looking, no one's gonna like that cowling, you know, that'll never catch hold. If you walk around the Miami Boat Show now, every one of these brands have an engine cowling that looks like that. Every one of them do. I mean, Yamaha changed theirs, Mercury really changed theirs.
Oh, yeah.
They all changed it so that it looks like that.
Yeah. Still allow you to customize the colors on those sides.
Yeah, I think there's like 300 possibilities. So you can make your boat and engine complement each other very easily. The company was started in the 90s, and Flip Pallet of the three original owners was the real name behind it. It was his reputation and his credibility that put Hells Bay Boatworks on the map. A few years later, they decided to sell the brand off to another owner, and that owner struggled. He really struggled. Peterson family stepped in and bought it from the bank, and they have built the brand all the way back up. I mean, we have some fantastic guides on staff. I mean, these guys have great reputations. Like here in Biscayne Bay, the two that come to mind immediately would have to be Captain Joe Gonzalez. I mean, he is a true blue Hells Bay guy. Captain Carl Ball. And a little further down the bay is Captain Andy Thompson. Now, we have a lot of young guys that are in this fishery that are fishing our brand too, and they are the future legends. Guys like Captain Alonzo Saltia, Captain Rob Munoz. These guys are great fishing guys, and they will be the guys, like we all get replaced. They will be the guys that will step in for Joe, step in for Carl, and step in for Andy one day. There's a lot of pride and passion at Hells Bay, and they are the boat sponsor for Captains for Clean Water. It's getting bigger every year. Every year the Skiff Challenge gets bigger, so it raises more money. People are pledging for their favorite team to win, and let me tell you, the CEO of the company for Hells Bay, Chris Peterson, he dreams about the race all year long.
He doesn't get much sleep.
He doesn't get much sleep. He's thinking about it all the time. He really enjoys the competition. Him and his son JC, they do the challenge every year, and they love it. They love, you know, father and son team. They do a good job. A lot of people will know that this was the first outboard company that's been around for 109 years. A staple in the industry. I grew up with a Johnson Seahorse, which was part of the brand.
I had a little 9.9 on my 12-foot aluminum John boat back when I was 7, 8 years old.
It's a very nostalgic brand. I would love for you guys to be able to speak with Carl Sandstrom or Eric Olson up here when we get to the dock and talk to these guys about why this is the cleanest engine in the industry. There's nothing close.
Team WYLD LYFE, I'm here with Eric from Evinrude, and we're going to talk today a little bit more about the specifications of the Evinrude, its efficiency, and the value that Evinrude brings to the table when it comes to conservation issues and preserving our environment and natural habitat. Eric, how are you doing today?
Fantastic. Good. Thanks for having me on. If we're looking at what we've developed since 2000, it's really been the push, the change from the carbureted engines and the dirty, as we all are familiar with, the dirty, smoky engines of the past. Yes, exactly. So we've changed it to an engine now that is the cleanest engine in the world. Cleanest outboard engine in the world by far. 75% cleaner. G2 is beyond compare. Really what it comes down to is we're putting it in a package that still delivers power, still delivers fuel economy, but it doesn't put the emissions anywhere, but combusts them, completely burns it, and leaves everything clean. So there's no residual that you need to get rid of, whether you're another technology, the 4-stroke side. When you're done at X, say a year, you get to dispose of the oil somewhere.
Sure.
This is included in all the emissions is the oil we burn for lubrication. Sure. If you look at our lineup across the board, every one of our engines is clean. We don't manufacture a dirty engine.
Right.
In our lineup, no matter where we go in the world, our engines are clean. So the other guys, they can't say that because all of them make a dirty engine. Anywhere we distribute the outboard engine, we want to be clean. That's our philosophy. Help the environment. You know, Jacques Cousteau Society, we've been associated with them for years. All the different elements that work with helping, supporting the fishing, the sea life, and whether it's the Great Lakes, if it's the lakes, or it's the ocean, that's what really our goal is to make sure what we produce and what we get people on the water with and running and enjoying is also going to be not hurting the environment that you're running it in.
Absolutely. And the fact that it's so low maintenance, it's the pros are very happy with it, and of course the consumer, because he doesn't have to worry about getting his oil changed every season. He doesn't have to worry about all that maintenance.
No, and you know it's funny. I fish on the professional walleye tour up in the northern tier in the U.S. and our big aspect for a lot of guys is the fact that they want performance. They don't want to have to do maintenance because a lot of the guys aren't good at maintenance. I'll tell you right now. They just want to run. I'm supposed to maintain my boat. So it really gives everybody the best of all worlds, and you don't sacrifice. And you know, one of the biggest things I think that people don't realize, that with this technology, it's not about 2-stroke, 4-stroke. Forget it.
Right.
What matters is, what are you getting for the boater? Are you clean? Yeah. Are you most fuel efficient? Absolutely. Are you have the most torque? Absolutely. And do you have the most elements in your engine that give us the driver engagement to the boat package, whether it's power steering that's built in, automatic trim, so you don't have to be an educated boater.
I was talking to CA earlier about the iTrim technology.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
So if you're not a good boater, you're still going to be developing the efficiency in the boat, so you're not wasting fuel, and you're able to be comfortable riding a boat, even in the least experienced boater. So the whole global aspect of what we do as an engine company is to really address not just the boat itself, not just a piece or part, but the whole driving experience, whether it's you don't smell anything, you're not emitting anything, you're able to
have that blue smoke coming out the back anymore.
No, it was great for bugs.
Sure.
You know, get rid of the bugs hands
the
down.
Mosquitoes,
you know, but other than that, not so good.
Not so
and
good.
When you have these engines parked to the docks as we have them here, and people are standing next to them, and they're hearing them run, they're like, wow, that is quiet.
And of course, no maintenance for 5 years. That's unheard of. For all the 4-strokes, it's every year.
Every year, 6 months or 100 hours.
Yep.
And a lot of guys down here, you know, Bouncer Smith is one of the guides out here. He runs it a lot. He runs 2,500 hours in a season. And he said he went from $20,000 maintenance to like 3. It's crazy.
Right. And for those professionals that are on the water all day, every day,
it's a big thing. And I look at it this way as well. When you're looking at a 4-stroke outboard, the minute you start the engine, the oil's getting dirtier.
yes.
When you start an ETEC, we're always using clean oil to lubricate the engine. Whether we're talking about the environment, we're talking about driver-centric, comforts. It's got it. There's no sacrifices, and it really is out there saying, and we're finding it hands down when people drive the boats. You've got something that nobody else has. It's not about the motor, it's not about the boat, it's about the package and how do you feel driving it. Does it give you the hair standing on end? Does it give you the creature comforts when you're hanging out and just cruising with the family? It's whatever use you have. Is it meeting the need? And that's what the cool thing about the G2 and the ETEC is. No matter what your use is, it's going to meet that need, whether you're a beginning boater or an advanced boater. If you like to go 400 miles an hour with your hair on fire, we got it. If you just want to putt around in a pontoon, we got that too. So the advantages, regardless of the boat type, are there. Regardless, no matter which engine you're talking about, to the environment, we're there because that's what we do and that's what we're about.
Well, Eric, thank you so much. It was
Not
a
a
pleasure
problem.
meeting you.